is this? What?
So Apple, for all their genius, is like I have 2-factor authentication. I'm updating the store hours to say, if you want to come in tomorrow,
Don't.
too bad. No soup for you. So, did I tell you I got flagged on Mountain Project for one of the routes I put up in
What do you mean?
in Las Vegas?
What do you mean you got flagged?
So 23 years ago, I did a
Are
new.
you live?
Yeah, we're live. I did a new route. So there was
What do you mean it was
a climb called Soup Base, and like around the corner there was a climb called Soup to Nuts. And my buddy Chris Burton and I went out one day, and he's like, I think we could climb this face, and we did this face. And this is in the heyday of Seinfeld, and I named the route Soup Nazi.
Thank you, Michelle. Thank you.
And like 2 weeks ago, I get this long email from Mountain Project letting me know I'm in social justice jail
You're in
for naming a route Soup Nazi, like a popular culture reference from the 90s. Like,
Oh, that's what you named it?
I named it Soup Nazi, and for 23, it's in the guidebook. It's like for 23 years, it's been
fine.
totally fine. But somebody was very offended by that name.
And
I could pretty much guarantee that they were 17 or 18 years old.
Patrick, don't talk about it. Could be controversial. Don't talk about it.
What it's like, everybody here watched Seinfeld, or at least was aware of it.
Yeah, did you guys watch Seinfeld and they had that episode? Was it called Soup Nazi?
It wasn't an episode. He was an ongoing character.
Oh, and he would just say, no soup for you.
Well, like, he's a real guy in New York that they called the Soup Nazi. Like, not the actor, but like there's a soup place in New York where that guy worked. It's based upon a real guy.
I didn't know
that.
that.
Everybody called the Soup Nazi. So I sent a letter to the people at Mountain Project, and I'm like, I guess I'm okay. So now the route is there, but the name has been redacted. It says redacted. And I'm like, but all the comments, all the pictures are still labeled by its original name. And I'm like, I guess I'm a little confused as to who might be offended. Was it somebody who hates soup?
Patrick.
Was it?
Has nothing to do with
Was it
soup.
an actual Nazi? Like,
Patrick.
Was it somebody who hated Seinfeld? Like, what about the name was, I don't know. Kids these days.
My thread says, ooh!
Wait until you see the giveaway today.
Don't get their hopes up.
Well, no, it's good.
Susan,
it's not as good as the thread.
I know. And, yes. Yeah. So, do you even have a question for today?
It couldn't be on today.
It couldn't be
at
on
his deli. Yeah. Well, really?
Yeah, no.
I don't. Yeah.
Patrick and I were talking about last night. He was telling me this story about this kid who tackled this other kid, and the kid's eyeball popped out. And then how...
So Poppy looked like this last night.
Well, so the kid's eyeball popped out, and then...
Everybody screamed and ran away.
Yeah, everyone screamed and ran away. First of all, they were playing a game that we couldn't even say now.
You can say it.
No, we're not saying it. Don't say it. Don't say it.
It was a game where you would throw a football straight up in the air and stand in a circle. I'm not going to say the name. And then when the football hit the ground, it would bounce at somebody. And whoever it bounced towards had to capture it. And then everybody would try to tackle that person.
Who would catch that ball?
It was definitely a boys' game that was played.
I would never try and catch the ball.
40 years ago that you couldn't play today.
So they were playing it, and one of the boys tackled the other boy, like I think was trying to hurt him. His eyeball popped out. And then
that's awful.
And he's always had, and then after that had a lazy eye. But Patrick said they were back in school like the next day, just had like an eye patch on, and nobody got in trouble. Because in the 70s, nobody got in trouble.
Nobody got in trouble.
We also watched this video, and it was like,
but nobody got in trouble.
Not that he shouldn't have gotten in trouble.
I mean, it wasn't funny at the time, but like he stood up and he didn't realize his eyeball was hanging out, and so everybody was like, ah, and like ran away, and Aaron, this kid, was like, What is something wrong?
That sounds like a Saturday Night Live skit. But we watched this other, remember the bicycle thing we watched, and it said, what did it say? Like how we rolled in the 70s? And it shows this kid on his bicycle. Was he no helmet? Right?
No helmet on a Schwinn Stingray with the banana seat.
He takes a jump, and like the way he crashed, oh my God. Oh my God, but it was like, it was the 70s.
And he got up and he brushed himself off and he was fine.
No, they didn't even show that.
He can't walk today.
I know.
But he was fine.
The 70s were...
They were awesome.
The 70s were awesome. Although I have some... So I was traumatized.
So Kai calls me last night and he's like, something's wrong with Poppy. And I'm like, what? And he goes, well,
she doesn't look right.
What? He goes, she doesn't look right. So, like, one of her eyes is cloudy and the other's big. And I'm like, what are you talking about?
I don't know.
So Poppy banged her head last night. And might have knocked herself a little senseless.
Can you believe? I was like, oh, I didn't know that could happen.
But then, like, by the time I got home, because I was picking up dinner.
Those were the days. I know, Linda, right? Those were the days. So what needles?
You know how many times I showed up at somebody's house, like, completely banged up?
You didn't respond.
I lived in a very hilly part of Pennsylvania, and I used to take my skateboard, which at the time were what they call penny boards. Now there were these little unstable, like, it's so stupid, and I would ride down hills, and a couple times, like, I took big spills where I had like road rash all over my body, but like I knew the person that lived in the house over there, so that's where I went. And like on multiple occasions I knocked on a door to have somebody answer the phone who was like, ah! And, you know, you went home and you took a shower and then you took tweezers and pulled the gravel out of your body.
And
then you sprayed freaking whatever that acid spray was on your body. Where like,
remember the pink stuff? Do people still use that?
Well, no, your parents used that because they were doctors.
My parents didn't use pink stuff.
They use like
alcohol or like they
always use Bactracin, like the medical stuff.
Yeah,
and your dad would always give us bottles of it.
He had the
but this stuff was like it wasn't Novocaine. What was it called? Somebody here knows what it was called. It was something cane.
Lidocaine?
But it wasn't lidocaine, but it had lidocaine in it. But it was like an antibacterial lidocaine spray, which there's no way they'd ever sell that today. But like, you know, my mom would do my whole body. She'd be like, ready? And I'd be like, ah!
Bactine? Iodine? Oh, iodine. Remember that? That was like
yeah. Well, so, but like, what was the spray stuff?
I don't know.
Like Bactine was like drops, but like what was the spray?
Lysol.
It wasn't Lysol.
It
was
that
like
would be so bad.
Something like that.
Okay, somebody asked about what needle to use with metallic thread. You can use, there's a metallic needle. However, I use Kingstar thread and I just run it with a regular needle because it's that good. So instead of worrying about your needle, just get Kingstar and then just run it with whatever. That's what I use.
Anti-
Yes. For Poppy, sign of concussion. That's what it said. It could be an optic injury.
So
or
Kai
accidentally
literally
kicked her.
uh
But she gets under your feet.
he
Poor. He felt so bad.
batting
He
was
felt
bad.
so bad.
He felt super bad. He was really worried he hurt her, but she got under his feet, and I think he kind of rocked her head a little bit. She's fine. By like 15.
Calamine. Yes.
Calamine lotion.
Oh, it's Calamine. Calamine. That's what I remember. For all of you who bought buttons to help the cause yesterday, we sold out of all 5 packs. And now everything's fine. So thank you very much.
What?
Everything's fine.
Don't tell her everything's fine. I think I need to put her back on.
I think you need to lower my card again because I just spend until, yes, I want it. Purchase, yes, I want it. That's like I should have a credit card song. That's the song I sing when I'm shopping.
I can't remember what that stuff was called. It was called like something cane. But anyways, it hurt when you put it on,
Could
and then
it
you'd get all
be
numb.
Bactine?
Bactine, I think, was in like a dropper bottle by the time I was around.
Oh, because you have a bunch of metallics in there? Okay, those are probably Madeira, and honestly, I've never used Madeira. Madeira might be, I think all metallic thread is challenging, except for Kingstar. Although
And
I've never
with
used,
Kingstar,
I've never
you don't
used
even
the,
really need to change your needles. Like
I don't know if it's the core, the way it's wrapped. It is just the best. I would use a metallic needle with that thread.
I've used Madeira metallic a lot. It's not as good as Kingstar, but it runs pretty smooth.
So
It's like
Michelle
Dollar
said she
Size 90.
used Madeira metallic. She says it's not as good as Kingstar, but it's still pretty good. And she used a size 90 metallic needle. So I would go with
oh yeah,
with
yeah,
what she used.
It was all the store business credit card.
Are you buying for the store with all those charges? Oh yeah, it's all for the store. Yeah, I have a separate
Who's
credit
calling
card. Shoot, do I have something important?
You should go check.
Yeah, let me check.
So yeah, we were just having funny conversations about life in the 70s. And yes, we all survived. What was crazy was how many people didn't, though. Like, part of what we were talking about was,
It might. Let me revisit.
you know, the kid who tackled the kid whose eye popped out, like, he ended up losing his sister and his brother.
Oh,
and
God,
his
it's a
dad.
horrible
It was
story.
like, it's an awful story.
Not only did his eye pop out, but then he had all that tragedy.
No, the kid who tackled him.
Oh, God. Shoot.
That's the thing with Jeannie.
It says
She-
it's from you.
Did you just call Jeannie?
What?
Michelle, were you trying to call anybody?
No,
No, yeah, why are you asking?
I don't even have a phone.
Okay, we'll deal with it later. All right. So, should we just do that? I have a Surger class. So I have 2 Surger classes today, so I'm going to be out of pocket all day. And so, and if you still want to sign up, if you still want to take it, call the store because I will not be checking
See,
my
Trish
email.
remembers Bactine the way I remember Bactine, which was it was in almost like a dropper bottle that you would squeeze and it would spray out. I'm talking about like an actual aerosol spray. Was that stuff? What was it called? It was something cane. Anyways, actually, it was the 70s. There was probably actual cocaine in the cane spray.
Who knows? So, so what do we? I'm gonna get going.
You are?
Yeah, and I got my shipping notice. Yes, so we stayed. Patrick came back last night, so the kids forgot to get the dog. And if you don't get the dog by 6 o'clock, they board him and they charge you like $250. So they
Which has
called-
never actually happened. I've always made it there by 6. But like Kai's like, do I really need to go get the dog? It was like at 5:48. And I
Patrick's
was
like-
running out the door while I was talking to him.
And it was real, like my clock said 10 minutes. I was like, is there any way Patrick's going to make it there in time? And he made it there in time. Otherwise, my baby Momo would have had to sleep someplace other than with his mama.
Is that true, Gail? I can't imagine Gail ever accidentally leaving her dog there. But it was funny because I said something to Heather when I got there, and she was like, I was just about to lock the door.
Yeah. I'm hoping we get shipping confirmation soon for the rest of Oh So Delightful. And we're going to start the sew along like the middle of what's the next month? March. So the middle of March. So everyone's going to get it with plenty of time. And I think I looked at my numbers and I think I have 2 extra kits. And I know it was showing sold out, which I don't know why it was showing sold out. But if you still wanted to get those, you can go online. You're just going to get it, I'll get them, I'm hoping next week, and then you'll get it like as soon as I can ship it out.
You know, Betty's like, imagine that. No seatbelt, no helmets, and not all the laws to try to make us safe, and we still survived. So what's crazy?
Some people didn't survive.
So what's crazy about that, Betty, is my kids and I have talked a bunch about this because in one of their classes they were learning about media bias. And my big thing is that kids today are sold this idea that the world's this, like a lot of kids think the world's in such jeopardy and that the world's this awful place and all this stuff is happening. Statistically, back then, yes, we survived so we could talk about it. But the number of kids who died in automobile accidents, the number of kids, and this is all per capita, but the number of kids who died with traumatic head injuries or who died without those laws is so astronomically higher than it is today. Like our kids today are so much safer than they were before. We were the lucky ones. We were the lucky ones. So, receive the cuties too. Yeah, we got that yesterday, Arlene. We totally appreciate that.
What?
Yeah, Gail, I've been like literally on a handful of occasions, the kids have called me to be like, I can't pick up the dog. On a couple of occasions, there's been like a bad accident or something where I made it there like right at 6, not intending to, but like it took a half an hour rather than 10 minutes to drive there. Last night, I broke laws. Like I literally ran out the door because there was no way. And she was literally walking out with Momo. Momo was with her.
Where was she going to take him?
She was going to
Bring him.
supposedly put him in the kennel.
Okay.
But like she was like getting ready to lock up. So she saw me and she's like, I was hoping you were going to get here. And I was like, is that real? Like, are you just saying that to scare us? But like, I'm sure they probably
real.
do some kind of shift change.
They gotta do
They probably
something.
do something, you know?
Right? They can't just like stay there all night for irresponsible pet owners that don't show up on time.
Sometimes I still go 100 on the highway in Nevada.
I don't want to. That scares me. That scares me thinking
She's
that
been in the
you
car with me doing that.
I'm like, no, just kidding. I don't know.
We were in the car.
I probably don't know.
We were in the car with her mom driving the Zion. Do you remember that?
No.
We were driving through like the Virgin River Gorge, and there was a dude that was like, it was weird. It was like dangerous and kind of weird. And I'm like, I need to get away from this guy. So I slowed down, and he slowed down, and so I sped up, and he was in a beater. And so we sped up, and the Virgin River Gorge is curvy, but not like super curvy. And Jeannie's mother, very, very quietly from the back seat, I hear Jeannie's mother.
What'd she say?
I hear Jeannie's mother go, "Oh, Jeannie, I've never driven 100 miles an hour."
That's what my mom mom said.
And Jeannie's like, you're going 100 miles an hour.
Oh my God, that's really funny.
Oh, Jeannie, I've never driven 100 miles an hour. I'm like, oh, lidocaine. No, it was like lidocaine, but it was an
Oh my God,
over-the-counter
we
spray.
slept in the back of the truck. Were you in the flatbed?
Oh my God. I used to literally, like, my parents had like a gigantic wood paneled station wagon.
with a
And I'd like run around the car and like go to sleep in the back of the station wagon.
Did you have
and, like,
the seat that flipped back? And then
you know what they called those? Was suicide seats, because like they didn't have headrests. So if you got in an accident, it broke your neck and like.
And you'd be.
And they knew that, and they made them anyways. Remember the, I used to think they were so awesome. Remember the Subaru Brat? They made a pickup truck with a seat in the back.
Yeah.
Like
you were
two
supposed to sit back there.
rear-facing seats in the back. No seat belts.
No seatbelt.
No seat belts, but you could hold on. They had handles.
That's so funny.
You can really see it too when the car's trying to.
Yeah, but that's the thing.
So-
they figure out these things are dangerous and then they change it, right?
Right.
And they make it better.
I've hit 100 miles an hour a couple of times. Never, like, always trying to get it. Like, I don't like driving past trucks. I don't want you guys to think I drive around at 100 miles.
I
an
love
hour.
that back window, like the back window of the car. You're a cat.
Benzocaine. Yes, that's what it was. Benzocaine.
You, Susie, and you remember.
But the
you got it, girl.
But yeah, I don't want people to think I drive around at 100 miles an hour. I'm like a less than 10 miles over guy.
Susie,
Although I probably yes, I do drive faster than the speed limit. But I don't like being next to trucks, especially
I don't either.
like especially when there is traffic. I like getting around the trucks and getting around the trucks quickly, and we drive cars I feel
Patrick's a
relatively
pretty
safe in.
driver, and I
Driving
like
that
when
fast,
Patrick
so, like,
drives.
That's why
He's and he's good in like all situations. Like you were drifting with Kai, and like snow.
everybody here is like, Jesus, what's this guy driving?
No,
it was like we were driving to the mountain early in the morning, and the roads were a sheet of ice.
And Patrick
I was
just
driving
hands-
about 5 miles an hour, but the car was
down plateau.
sideways.
You know plateau. Plateau's like steep. I would have been like, ah! And then Patrick's just like calmly like going sideways and just like handling the car.
Oh my God. How come I haven't to process my orders that I have bundled now that Oh So Delightful has arrived?
Miss Alice, because your Oh So Delightful is going to be in that next group. So if you want,
It's come by order of
yeah, I'm filling
by
all the orders by
chronological
when the
order.
orders were filled. So that will be in my with the stuff that they're going to be sending to us. Hopefully next week that we're going to be getting. That's why. But if you want like what I have now, I can send what we have now. So just give me a little message, yay or nay. But I have boxes, and if you were here, you'd see like there's boxes and envelopes and all sorts of things, and they have your name on it, and it has like the item that I'm waiting for to complete
That's
your order
funny.
to
Going
send
up
out.
north when the road opens up. So out here, Trish, our speed limits are 85. Like we have 85-mile-an-hour speed limits on 80, and then when you get into Idaho and Montana,
There is none.
No, that's not true. There's still
There
speed
isn't?
limits up there, but the speed limits are 85. And like you don't see police officers either.
Because too much land. It's not like driving back east. Okay.
Speed limit is not my vocabulary.
Oh my goodness.
Does this mean you've driven
Doug!
100 miles an hour illegally too?
The first day you posted it. Okay, Patrick, what's our question?
Well, so what are our giveaways?
We are giving away
And what is the grand prize and what is the not grand prize?
This is, okay, that and then that. And let me look up that sense.
So what's the grand prize?
Hang on, the hat.
This?
Yeah, this is the grand prize.
This is actually...
A really good one.
Wow. Are we really giving this away?
Yeah.
We are giving away the full collection of the Madeira green quilt box. It is green because it is a sustainable thread.
It's $130 retail.
Normally $130. It is a 40 weight. Is it cotton? Where does it say?
Hey, Miss Alice, I have you with your purchase on January 27th. Am I wrong? Is that wrong? And our pre-order started in September. That's what, maybe I'm wrong. I'll look at it again. But,
A vacuum. So, yes, it is cotton. It reaches the Okotex 100 standard. So there is nothing in this thread deemed to be harmful to people. You would need to actually pull this whole thing off. Don't open it.
Why?
Because this is
yeah, Patrick's right. How great is this though? If you want to go on a retreat, you don't feel like thinking. Remember how you have to like go, okay, what thread am I going to use for my project? And then you have to go. This could just be your grab and go. Just your grab and go with all of these different colors.
40,000 meter spools plus 2 bobbin fill 80 weight bobbin fill spools.
Yeah, because 1,000 meters, that's what are on our normal, our normal little mini cones. Those are 1,000. Like if you're buying Aurifil or if you're buying confetti or if you're buying that, it's usually 1,000. So
yeah, this is definitely quilting and
nice
sewing
gift.
thread, but not embroidery thread, I think.
You can embroider with cotton thread. You got to slow it down, and you have to expect sometimes your thread might break. So, but this is a great gift. So this is what we're going to be giving away.
So the drawing is on Tuesday, Annetta. And so for those of you that are new to the live stream, every Friday we do a giveaway. We generally ask a question. We, on Tuesday, use a random comment picker on YouTube to pick the winners. But the random comment picker has to pick a comment that answers the question. So keep in mind, right now, for those of you that are commenting, what is happening over here right now, which is where you're seeing your chat, is the chat. When we wrap up, comments will go down here. But comments are not available until after the live stream is over. So you will need to wait until the live stream ends. And then for those of you who don't watch live, who watch over the weekend, you can make your comment. So what is our question?
You know what?
Jean?
And why don't
So that is prize number 1. Prize number 2, it's a quilting day.
It's a quilting day.
Is Baby Lock did a Riley Blake Weather Vane Runner kit. So it is a full kit.
It's kitted with Lori Holt fabric. In it as well is Cindy's seam ripper. Isn't that cute? So that comes in the kit as well. Includes binding. Backing is not included, but it is so cute. And it's from Lori Holt Bee in My Bonnet.
Well, welcome, Claire.
So we're going to give away this as well. And all you have to do is make a
So
comment.
the first...
I was thinking, did you have a question?
I don't, but you have to remember. Here, you ready?
Ask that in a while.
Okay.
Okay, so question of the day is what Technique Tuesday video would you like? And when we do these Technique Tuesday videos, they're short snippets. So don't ask us how to sew this together.
So we actually, and I didn't realize this, but one of the Baby Lock educators has promoted a number of our Technique Tuesday videos that Michelle has done regarding the new machines. Because we got a phone call from a gal, and I was so confused because she was asking to talk to that Baby Lock educator, and I'm like, she has nothing to do with this store. I know who she is, but I don't know why you're asking for her, like why you think she works here. And so it took me a minute to figure out that she was actually talking about Michelle's Technique Tuesday videos.
Yeah,
but they're
and
there
they're
and they're really
fantastic.
good. They're really good.
She's got Michelle's got that binding one. I watch it every time when I do my binding because she does such.
So
beautiful
remember,
binding.
don't comment in the chat. Wait until the live stream is over to comment more down here below where Jeannie is. And yes, Heather, absolutely. Remember to like, subscribe,
And share.
and share, and hit so like, which is the thumbs up button, subscribe, which should say subscribe, and then there's a notifications button that looks like a bell, and that'll notify you when we do our live streams, when we do our drawings. You'll get notified when we do our sew-alongs, etc.
So Kathy is asking.
You need a DX machine. So in theory, you could have the SDX 125, the SDX 225, the SDX 230, the SDX 325, or the SDX 330. Most of those machines would be totally fine. You will find like the SDX 330, which is the top of the line. It's what we'll be using for the class, is the highest resolution of the machines, etc. So there may be a couple things that appear a little bit easier, but any of the auto blade machines should work.
Oh no. I need more buttons. Okay. All right. Yeah. So the question is
DX85. I don't think I'm even aware of the DX85, Kathy.
DX85. Was that an internet? DX85.
SDX85. I don't even know I mean, in theory, the SDX machines.
With blade sensor technology, and it's cute.
So it's an auto blade machine. I've never seen the SDX85. They may be kind of new.
I wonder where.
In theory, I think if it is a SDX machine, which it is,
Kathy McKernan.
It should be.
I'm gonna send a note
fine.
to Michelle because
I'm right
Kathy.
here.
So will you figure out if this is a
Yeah, the
machine that they
SDX
can use in your
325 is
class?
totally fine.
Which class?
Get to know yourself.
Get to know.
Yeah. So the only thing that's different is some of the ones that are like the lower numbers. When we do to use an embroidery design to draw the card, it can't do it.
How about
But for the most of the other thing, as long as it's an auto blade,
So you won't be able to do some of the direct to embroidery stuff
Yeah.
because
And then
those
they may
machines
not
don't
have all
have
the
that
mats.
capability. But
they
yeah.
are cute. Yeah, the colors are really cute.
Yeah, no, as long as it's
But-
auto blade, they can do most of it.
So you can do. So the answer is
you'll be
you
able
can
to do
most
the
of it.
majority of the class.
What's
So-
fantastic? Well, there's so many things that are fantastic about that class. It's a 4-hour class. You go through a lot of stuff. But I think it's, it can be scary to work with different fabrics, paper, things that are stabilized, things that aren't. So it's nice to have somebody kind of walk you through it. It's kind of like a tour of the town, a tour of the Scan and Cut town. I'm going to go, Patrick. 10:04.
Okay.
All right. Have a great weekend. I'm going to be working. What am I going to be working on? I'm going to be working on stuff. I'm going to do some, I'll probably do some prep videos for upcoming sew-alongs that we're going to have. And, yeah. I have some Kimberbell specials, too, of product that they're closing out that I hope to have for you guys next week. And is there anything else you can think of? I don't think so.
Yeah, Jeannie is cut off from spending for at least 3 weeks. Yeah, I will definitely be relaxing.
Channel your inner winner, please. I want you to go, I'm good enough, and I deserve to win that thread.
And people like me.
I'm good enough, and people like me. Is that what he would say?
That Stuart Smalley.
There were a couple of things that he would say. Or
Yes.
was that it?
He would say.
You
"People
are
like
good
me."
enough. You do deserve to win. And one of these could be yours.
Oh my
see you
goodness, it's
later.
Mr. Jim Hangles.
What's happening?
All right. Bye.
You.
Are you going to do a sew along pretty and posh?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll
Yes.
talk about that another time. See you
Yes.
ladies Tuesday and gentlemen.